Yeah, it's talking about the cholinesterase inhibitors, you know, and that would block cholinesterase. The cholinesterase actually blocks acetylcholine, right? Allowing it to react to receptors, so that would bring the acetylcholine up, all right? Does that make sense? You got it? Okay. I never read the whole thing, so. Yeah, those things are fun to interpret. I did talk about a little bit earlier about that. I just didn't give you a picture. That's what that's showing. Okay, so get out your handout. I mean your PowerPoint. Like I said, a lot of these are from past exams. Since we have a little bit of time, I want to tell you something. I keep thinking I read this article to you earlier. At the same time, could have been the class last year. Now, how many parents have been getting a good night's sleep? Anybody? No. Sometimes, especially Friday night, not partying. No? Okay. Anyhow, this is a wonderful article. It says, scientists have long wondered why sleep is, because we're going to start with sleep. Why sleep is restorative and why lack of sleep impairs brain function. So you need, like I knew when I was a student, I knew that. Maybe it was drilled into me by my grandmother, my mom. I would always quit at 10 o'clock. I think I told you this before. I always would quit it. I mean, we always had at least 5 subjects, you know, at a time. So I studied all 5 every single night. But I would always quit at 10 because I figured it would seep in my brain and register and things would be better in the morning. At least that was my hope. I knew I needed decent sleep. But it says new research suggests how sleep state may help clear the body of potentially toxic CNS, central nervous system metabolites. Protein linked to neurodegenerative diseases, like with Alzheimer's, your amyloids, or the amyloid plaques, are present in everyone's brain, in the interstitial space surrounding your cells in your brain. They found out that these amyloid clearance is increased during sleep. And that the sleep-wake cycle regulates the glial cells. Remember the glial cells? What's it go up? Lymphatic system, which is responsible for cleaning waste from the brain and spinal cord. Anyhow, we found a new function of sleep. They found out with research with mice that brain cells continuously produce toxic waste. All cells do produce toxic waste, right? And the body gets rid of it. The waste can build up in the spaces between the brain cells that damage it. But during sleep, the spaces between the brain cells increase. And actually, they said the cells actually change shape when you sleep, which allows the blood to flush out all this toxic waste. So they're finding out you need a really good sleep, at least 6 to 8 hours, to clean out your brain and prevent this toxic waste from building up. So I kind of wondered after this research, are they going to see people who have increased chance of Alzheimer's, say like those who work night shift, or people who have sleep apnea, all these different sleeping problems that have an increased chance of dementia or Alzheimer's. That'd be interesting. So anyhow, another reason why you need a good night's sleep. So I know I'm going to do more research on that. Okay, so inability to sleep, what's the word for it? Okay. All right, and you already know it says on number 2 on the last one, may be related to, and you already learned this, right? Caffeine. You know what's in caffeine. Not exercising too close. And then and the last one contributes to sleep. You already know that. Metabolic syndrome. You guys know what metabolic syndrome is? one thing I did ask you. It's a group of symptoms, and when you have so many of them out of them, you have metabolic syndrome, which means you're going to have cardiac disease, vascular disease, and so forth. So it's lab work. If your blood sugar is above a certain rate, if your blood pressure is higher than a certain rate, if your cholesterol level is above a certain rate, and so forth. If you have a history of hypertension, history of diabetes, history of vascular problems, then they add these, it's a point system, and when it goes above a certain point, then you have what's called metabolic syndrome, which means you're in trouble. All right? That's what that means. When you have these metabolic syndromes, it makes it very difficult for you to sleep properly. All right?
It's a group of symptoms.
Mm-hmm. In lab work, so I'll give you a handout on this when we talk about GI, I think. I'll give you a hand. I found it somewhere, a book I had. I really liked it. Okay. So the plan's on the bottom. We'll skip the first one. It's all about your nursing care plan. Environmental control. How to help you sleep. You guys all told me last or yesterday. Last week maybe. I don't know. This darkness. Keep the room dark. Keep the room quiet. That's a big thing. It's just for your patients, you need pillows to make sure they're comfortable, positioned properly, right? I hope you guys are doing that really well. I mean, something as simple as getting the shoulder knot is tucked in, it will go numb really quick and hurt them. Why people cannot tell you they're in pain? Why people have paralyzed on one side can't tell you. You need to get. Have you ever woke up in the night because you're not positioned right and you're in pain? Yeah, think of that person. Think of that person as your parent or grandparent or child, right? Okay, so yeah.
And was we not like teaching them the importance of sleep?
Yeah, just teach them how to, whatever's going to help them sleep better. Dietary changes, no caffeine, right? Exercise, none before. You should exercise sometimes during the day. They in the morning if you can't, but you can't when you're all at work and school.
Excuse me, can I have a Dan Rodriguez to report to room 217? Dan Rodriguez, please report to room 217. Thank you.
Okay, then you have two drugs, the definition, hypnotic, reduces sleep, or sedative, relaxes them, right? Quiets the patient. They want it to be not habit forming, right? But these drugs, what do they interfere with? REM sleep. So it does help them sleep longer, right? But maybe they don't feel rested. Okay, there's three types: barbiturates, benzodiazepines, and the ones that are non-barbiturates and non-benzodiazepine. Okay. What I wanted to tell you about these drugs, just for your own benefit. Okay. Anyhow, barbiturates. You have Amatol, and they're all, that's right, barbiturates are all barbitals, right? Yep. They're all barbitals. So you know barbiturates are barbitals. You know we're gonna find them. When you look up, when you're getting your meds for a patient, we're gonna find them.
Under the
Double locked, they're locked up, right? You're not gonna find them in with the regular meds. Okay. Okay, then you have your benzodiazepines, right? Where are you going to find those? Schedule 4. Okay, and what do they end in? Lam and Pam, right? There's some more Pam. Some more just Am. Okay. What's that? They are safer, yes. They are safer. Because they're not, yeah. They're not nearly as strong as a barbiturates. You guys know that, right? You learned about barbiturates. Okay, then there's the non-ones, and these are real common ones. They're your chloral hydrate. Like I said, we typically use that for sleep. It does say here, it says a bedtime hypnotic. And it says a pre-op sedative to relax them. Then Benadryl, you all know what Benadryl is, right? Okay. And the rest of them, they're advertised on TV, actually. All right. Melatonin, you know that's a hormone. We've talked about that already. Valerian is an herb. Okay, I know I would tell you, let you know. Remember I told you these aren't supposed to be temporary, right? If they're used for sleep. A lot of people you know have been on them forever. Anybody knows? I've known some people who did that. Guess what? It causes hallucination and nightmares. And we actually saw a patient become schizophrenic with it. You have them sleepwalking, they're driving vehicles and they're not aware. It's like an amnesia response, they don't remember driving. They can walk up on the roof of their house. I mean, they're short term, they're supposed to be short term. Somehow these people get a hold of these meds and they have them on for long term. It will harm you, because it's like you're not getting that REM sleep night after night. Sometimes you might just have rebound, reaction to it, sleeping. But other people get psychotic, that's the word for it, they get psychotic.
So it can cause, you said, hallucinations?
Yeah, I'm just letting you guys know, one morning.
Does that include the melatonin that's naturally?
No, melatonin's natural. You're supposed to take melatonin at the lowest dose you can find. It's like 4 milligrams. Some people may have a lower, bless you. They have one? Oh, really? Okay. Remember the lowest, most doctors recommend the lowest dose. Just give you a little boost after you sleep and have problems.
That doesn't affect the REM sleep at all?
No, it doesn't. Actually, it's natural for your body, because when it gets dark, that's why they tell you to wind down with no TV, no electronics, keep the lights low, maybe just read or do something. So a lot of that melatonin set in, so you can just, they say when you fall asleep, you should fall asleep within about 15 minutes, no longer. If it's longer than that, you're having problems.
Does that go the same for the Valerie?
I don't know too much about the herbs. They don't have much research on the herbs like they do drugs. But it's been used for a long time. They used to use it way back before meds were taken over for herbs, and it really did, people always said it didn't really help them. I never tried it, so. I try not to drink caffeine before bed or exercise before bed, or, My house is naturally dark. It was built in the 1800s, so we don't leave trees. Okay, the first one that was in your nursing is headaches. The most common headache, most common headache I bet is the tension headache. But otherwise, the worst headache is the migraine. What precedes a migraine? An aura, and that's the change of what? Sensory input. Okay. I'm just guessing. I think I think most people would have tension headaches. I think most people cannot control stress in their life real well. And then things come up, you get one. If you get tired, it's just a natural thing. No, I wouldn't want anybody. The vascular is the migraine, right? Then you have the traction one, which is inflammatory or infection. Is yours all right. Okay, plan, comfort measures, right? If it has anything to do with psychological problems, you need counseling. And then there's the meds. And you guys know what NSAID stands for, right? And they have written down your typical over-the-counter meds. And you know they all mainly cause GI upset, that's why law were coded. And what is, okay, just enteric coded, where does it resolve? Small intestine. Okay, next you have the serotonin receptor agonist. You really don't, I told you what ergot meant. It's from rye bread, okay. Let's see. It's a fungus that grows, it parasitically grows, this fungus grows parasitically on rye. Yeah, on rye, not rye bread, but rye.
Oh, I thought you said rye
I know,
bread.
it's not my favorite bread, what can I say? On rye. Well, I'm thinking of penicillin, they found it growing on bread. Right, that's where they found out about it. My mom always told me, you could eat bread that goes bad, he always tells me, it won't hurt you. I'm always telling me, I don't like it.
Is that why mushrooms have so many medicinal Is that why mushrooms have so many medicinal purposes? Like lime.
Because the okay, they're a fungus, they do. There's a lot of poisonous ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of poison there.
Yes, they recommend the good ones to be eaten, but they have to be cooked, because there's actually a fungus on the fungus. Most mushrooms should be cooked. It's off the subject though.
You brought it.
I know. Fungus, yeah. I didn't think of mushrooms when you said
Well,
that.
I took a class and it was like lion's mane for memory and
Right.
there was a bunch of
Sorry
them.
about that later, that sounds interesting, actually. Okay, so, where were we? Neurological pain. Okay, we're talking about selective serotonin receptor agonists, just know that word, okay? That's the other one. I don't see these meds. It'd have to be someone who has a migraine, and if you have a migraine, you're not usually you're not hospitalized with a migraine. Usually your doctor treats you with special drugs that help it. But they constrict the blood vessels. And I think maybe that's what's causing the migraine. Now, my brother's had migraine all his life, none of these drugs ever helped him. They still don't know everything, do they? But you know that when your blood vessels are dilated, you get a headache. What does cold do to your vessels? Strict. And then, yeah, so maybe sometimes foods affects it. But, okay, nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin, they give you patches. Have you anyone patched nitroglycerin yet? Like the patch from Cream On? Okay, well, it dilates. They put the patch on to dilate the blood vessels in your heart to give more blood to your heart. You've all heard nitroglycerin, right? Under the tongue. Under the tongue, it dilates. To help that person through long term, they'll put it in cream. It dilates the heart, but if the dose is too high, it dilates the blood vessels in your head. And you get extreme severe headaches. All right? So that's why they think migraines are the blood vessels are kind of dilated. So they're giving these meds here, these selective serotonin receptor agonists, just to do the opposite and constrict the vessels. All right? At the same time, I don't know if I want my blood vessels constricted in my brain, but if you're having a headache, I think anything that would work. Okay, next is neurological pain. Neurological pain is what diseases? Polyneuralgia and
Did you say something about the
yeah, it has to do with the nerve there. Yeah, they do have pain a lot of times. But trigeminal neuralgia, a lot of pain for both. Trigeminal neuralgia, which is nerve what? And Bell palsy is what nerve? Okay. Okay, trigeminal neuralgia is occurring in what part of the body? Yeah, the face. There's three nerves that go bottom, middle, and up. Okay? Polyneuralgia can be anywhere throughout the body. Under neurological, I thought there was Bell palsy, but it's paralysis involving the nerve, one side of the face. And they, yes, they do have sudden pain and paralysis with this, okay? And it said it's related to what virus? Herpes, yeah, I think that's their, I think it has to do with the herpes simplex. And it's nerve number what for Bell palsy? All right. Okay, implementation. Sometimes for this pain they use TENS units, nerve blocks, all things we learned under pain. You may have to surgically block the nerve, okay? Medications here though are, I gave you Neurontin, which is gabapentin. What's the other drug I told you? Tegretol. Or benzodiazepine. Carbamazepine. Thank you. And what do they also are used for? Anticonvulsants. All right. Okay, then slide 29, you have your non-opioid, your Tylenol and aspirin. Okay. Then you have your opiate agonist. That's for the, okay, it's for severe pain then, the opiate agonist. And then that's your morphine, and morphine-like drugs, along with your meperidine-like drugs. So meperidine, which is a generic term, you hear it as Demerol. It's a very common drug they use, or used to use. And the meperidine-like drugs, as you can see here, are fentanyl. Everyone heard of fentanyl? Probably. Is it a street drug too?
Yeah.
Huh? I thought. It's synthetic. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, okay, then, let's see. Those were the main ones, actually. Then slide 36 is your increase in intracranial pressure, which we did review again today. Anything that's occupying space in your brain, right? And it could cause a herniation of the spinal, or the brain stem. And then you have the symptoms, which is called the Cushing response. Remember I told you it's Cushing response, or increasing cranial pressure, is the opposite of shock. Okay, so you have increased systolic. When you increase systolic, it means your pulse pressure, your blood pressure is wider, right? Your top and bottom number, systolic is your top number. So it's opening wider, so you have an increase of the pulse pressure. Don't forget that word, pulse pressure. And of course the heart rate goes down. When you start seeing that, then you worry, okay? Assessment. We're watching those pupils, there's double vision, your pupils change as being sluggishly, then it can dilate. Remember when it gets really extreme, the pupil could blow, or it's completely dilated. You may have seen someone who has it kind of like that. Okay, you have the papilledema. And you all know how to check the pupils correct. Light out onto the side. And what happens when you shine the light in one eye? What happens? What's that? One person at a time, raise your hand.
The other
Okay, you tell me.
They both supposed to constrict.
Very good. They both constrict. Okay? So that's P. Perla, right? Okay. Review how you do your head together. Make sure you know what you're looking at. As you gain more knowledge, as you learn more knowledge with each system, you'll be doing more things with your patient to assess them, right? Okay. Slide 40 is your, well, you have your plan and your implementation plan, emergency equipment. Get ready in case it involves, crashing. Again, with the head up 30 to 45 degrees in a neutral position, so no hyperextension, no flexion of the body anywhere. And you're doing this to what? Right, to keep promote the venous flow, and with promoting venous flow, hoping you're bringing down that pressure, right? So you're doing what you can as a nurse until you get the emergency drug set up, right? And a big thing, avoid Valsalva maneuver. What's Valsalva maneuver? Straining, bearing down, anything that causes pressure to the brain. Coughing, right? Coughing, yeah, that causes extra pressure. Anything that would cause pressure, you want them to try to avoid. Okay, and then those are the main things you do as a nurse, and then of course, that 41 is just depends what's going on with your patient. Okay, they become non-alert, it's like before surgery, you become non-alert, they put a fully catheter a lot of times. Suction needed, oxygen. Temperature goes what, up or down? ICP goes up, they get really hot, high temperatures. Okay, medications, there's 3 types. The first one is diuretics. Main one is osmotic diuretics, which is what? What does it do? Brings that Dennis brain down, brings that fluid out. Because it inhibits sodium and water. You have hormones in your body which will decrease your sodium and certain ones that decrease water, but not both. So this is the drug of choice. It does it within 15 minutes and it lasts many hours. Like I said, when you know this and you're a nurse, and you know what's going on, you call the doctor, you get all these drugs ready and prepared, because you know ahead of time what needs to be done, what he's going to order. It sounds crazy, but you will, honest, you will. Like a seizure. You need to get the seizure to stop immediately, right? First you want to make sure what's the first thing you want to do? Make sure they're safe in the airways, right? Make sure they're safe. Get things moved away, get the head up so they don't aspirate. If they're in the bed, they may be on the floor.